Sandra, thank you. Now, micro, small and medium enterprises are the big winners in the 2019-2020 budget. This as the National Treasury targets the super rich to pay for its 3.02 trillion shilling budget. Brenda Kiruba begins our bulletin this evening.
A rather excited but calm Treasury CS. Henry Rotich eager to spell out how he will finance his next budget. But first, he had to spell out some goodies for the micro, small and medium enterprises.
Yes, it's true, the SMEs are the winners in this budget, and it was designed basically really for that. As I said, there have been challenges the SMEs have been facing, and we think it's time we address their issues.
Micro, small and medium enterprises have for long complained about limited access to credit, entrepreneurial skills and markets, as well as a cumbersome regulatory and working environment.
MSMEs, they also have a problem with financing, and I think the way we have tried to address that is, one, to have that Biashara Kenya Fund. But as you also know, we are trying to form a development bank by merging three institutions. And once that is finished, then we'll be able to see that development bank being able to provide long-term financing to MSMEs.
To further support small enterprises, National Treasury promises faster clearance of cargo, a Biashara Kenya Fund to prioritize businesses owned by the youth, women and people living with disabilities. But not everybody was a happy lot. The super rich, for instance, will have to dig deeper into their pockets. This as Treasury sets a revenue target of 1.8 trillion shillings.
As you know, over the last 3 or so years, I've actually adjusted tax brackets to, in fact, widen them, so, which has been a relief for the low income earners. I think we are not making radical change on that, but we want to make it more progressive, meaning that there are so many other incomes probably at high income earners that are not properly taxed, and others there could have been a lot of exemptions that we are addressing.
The majority of the taxes are being coming from the excise tax on vehicles, and these are high capacity vehicles. Yeah? Those are not vehicles that the poor are going to be buying. Second, as the capital gains tax. The capital gains tax does not affect really the poor. There's obviously the betting, and the betting that obviously is across the board, but I think we're also trying to address some social economic issues by doing that. And then finally, the sin taxes. And if you look at where we are taxing the beverages, you see we have even left beer. We are not taxing the beer. We are taxing the wines and the whiskies and so on, and the spirits.
National Treasury plans to collect at least 5 billion shillings from sin taxes. That said, National Treasury Cabinet Secretary Henry Rotich did also indicate there is a shortage of maize in the country.
Already there is a stocks that is still with the National Cereals and Produce Board that is supposed to be offloaded to millers. That may not be sufficient until the new crops that are in the farms comes to the market. But the plan is that we are going to probably approach the East African Secretariat to provide for duty remission so that we can address the shortage.
Brenda Kirubo, KTN News.